Hello, my name is Gerardo Alarcon, and this is a new podcast I have called Willing to Negotiate. I do another podcast called Gerardo, but there is no Gerardo today, and I feel like I am doing nothing if I'm not doing anything. So I decided to start another podcast. I bought this fancy mic with a fancy arm, mic and arm that you'll see in a lot of other podcasts that are a lot more successful than I am. Now, I'm not sure if it's the mic and arm, but I've always been a process of elimination guy. So if this doesn't work, then you might see me on the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm just kidding. Bad joke. Happy quarantine. Happy pandemic. I'm here thinking, I don't know what to say. I'm thinking too much. Maybe I should just keep talking. I feel like this was a stronger intro. I've tried to do this more than one time, believe it or not. And I feel like this is probably the strongest intro I've had so far. And I'm like pretty hyped about that, but also at the same time, I don't want to lose the goodness of what I think is good already. I'll probably watch this later and delete it, just like I did the other ones. The podcast is called Willing to Negotiate because I've always thought that was a funny phrase people use a lot without even knowing they use it. Typically when you're on OfferUp or eBay or what's another one? You always need three. Craigslist. You people that know what they're selling is shitty, but they are they need a lot of money. So they'll say like, this flat screen is $300, but I'm willing to negotiate, which you're trying to give the person a frame of mind that you're in. Like, I need $300, but dude, if I get $260 closer to $300, then I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to negotiate. And the main purpose of this podcast is to try to find my voice, I guess you could say. And so, and whatever I get, I'll take, basically. So whatever I get from this, I'm willing to take that. So I might change the name. Who knows? I would call it the Gerardo Show, but my name is Gerardo. So that one, and the Gerardo Show, it just sounds like a pretentious title, I think. I think people always say if your name has 4 syllables, that's too long of a name. But my name is 7 letters. How many letters are allowed to be in a fucking name, you know? Damien is 3 syllables. And that's 5 letters? 6. Damian. Yeah, I don't know. See? We're gonna drop in energy pretty soon here. And I'm not sure if this is gonna be the first episode or not. So far I feel like it is, but and for the first couple of times that I tried to record this, I did not have a list of notes. I haven't even touched on the notes yet, and we're 3 minutes in, so that's a good sign. I have my notes here to my side, just in case I do not have anything to talk about. And whenever I don't have something, I realized while doing this, whenever I don't have something to talk about, I always start sounding like a white woman from the South. Like, what a little old me gonna talk about, you know? What is little old me gonna say? And that's annoying. And I'm also trying to find my voice. I'm not trying to find the voice of a fucking Southern white woman that has a troubled past. Let's be honest, right? I think in my mind, I say, go to the dumbest thing you think exists and then try to sound that dumb. Because I believe white women are the devil. Cancel me, please. I'm trying so hard. I'm so hard. I'm trying, you know? And I heard the quickest way to get canceled is by attacking white women. I've had a trouble past with white women, and I do not like them. I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like them. White women with green ham. Okay. Okay. This is also why I have a written thing out. I have written topic. Not like, I'm not going to read from this saying, the sheep went to the... Oh my God. I'm going to I have topics to discuss here. Yeah. And I have other shit to do too. After I do this, I have to edit the Gerardo clips for the other podcast that I do. I like to do 5 clips per episode. There's I think 2 episodes that did not get 5 clips. Or there's 3. There's 3 episodes that did not get 5 clips. And there's plenty of reasons for each of those. Reasons that I would love to go into, but I don't know if that's entertaining or not. Is this entertaining? Please tell me. If this is available for people to see, Tell me. Yeah, so fuck. I should just be editing the Josh Gerardo clips so I don't have more to do. But I don't know why. I'm forcing myself to do an hour of this a day to try to get better at talking. Right? I'm like Jim Carrey looking into the mirror, him trying to, and then him writing out of, I don't have a checkbook though. I would write I'm going to get $25 million and then put that in my dad's casket or something. That's the Jim Carrey story. My dad's not dead. He's alive. He's well. I talked to him today. But I know Jim Carrey looked at the mirror every day, right? I also I hate when I do the Josh Gerardo clips and people don't post them. When people that are on my podcast, Josh Gerardo, don't post the Josh Gerardo clips, it annoys the fuck out of me. There's exceptions, right? There's always an exception to a rule. We've had tattoo artists on that their Instagrams, and when I say post, I mean to Instagram, not to like their fucking wall in their house or something, you know? If they don't post to their Instagram, it infuriates me. But there's like tattoo artists that we'll have on that won't post, which I understand because they have a dedicated Instagram page to tattoos, you know? Or maybe like we've had a photographer on and he won't post to his page because it's not a picture. It's a fucking silly clip where he's talking about having sex with my co-host Josh, you know? So I understand those people. But the people I don't understand are the people that aren't doing anything and they did something and I took a little bit of time to edit that for them out of my day. And they choose to not post that. Well, and it bugs me because they're good. And if I didn't think they were good, I wouldn't do them. It bugs me because when it's like a safety thing. It's like I was on the podcast, but if it was bad, I'm not gonna post it. And then I have something to say where I didn't like the end product. I guess you could say. I don't really want to talk about this. I should stick to my fucking notes. But yeah, if you're not posting the Josh Gerardo clips and you aren't doing jack shit outside of that, hey, fuck you. How about that? Oh yeah. So one of my first topic of discussion, I was taking out the trash. I recently got this mic and this mic arm. It's fucking beautiful. I love it. It sounds great. I want to record every day. We'll see how long that lasts. But I was throwing away all the boxes that came in because I got them through Amazon. And when I was throwing out the boxes, I walked by a group of 4 kids and I was trying to think about what I was going to talk about. I was like trying to buy time. Let me go for a little walk, throw away the trash, and I'll have something to talk about by the time I get back. I walked by these 4 kids, 3 little girls and 1 very little boy. Now, the oldest of the 3 girls was walking with a bag that she had just came out of a car. She was walking with purpose towards another girl that was on a scooter. And the girl on the scooter was in a hurry towards the older girl. The girl with the bag, the one that had came out of the car, dropped the bag and attacked the girl on the scooter. And I don't know if you've ever seen in a fight where when somebody starts to fight another person, they kind of smile a little bit. So I thought it was a playful battle. I thought it was just like, a couple dudes going at it, dudettes, whatever you want to say. But then I realized that it was not playful. And both of them were just pulling each other's hair, trying to get the other person's hair out of their face, their head. I walked by, and granted, I do have some street cred because I was born in Colton and I have this tattoo right here. So it is pretty scary when I walk by you, I understand that. And I have a bunch of boxes. You don't know what's behind the boxes. Little do you know that it's just an overweight body. Now, it's important that I said there was a little boy with him because the little boy was the voice of reason. And he said, he cussed also, but I'm not going to put that out there for him in case he's, breaking the law by doing that. But he said, hey, stop that fucking shit, And the little girls did not stop and they kept fighting. And then they just stared at me as I walked by. Now, the girl that instigated it, the girl that dropped the bag, because she threw the bag down and started fucking grabbing her hair and punching her in the face. But then they kind of moved behind cars, so I couldn't see the middle of the scuffle. But I was walking slowly, you know, and I finally saw that, oh, they're really going at it, you know. They all started going the same direction, all 4 of these little kids. The 2 youngest ones did not care. They just like walked away. But the 2 that had gotten a scuffle were going the same way as those 2 other ones. And from behind me, I hear the older one say, "Why don't you go cry to mom? Why don't you go cry to mom?" So I'm thinking that the girl that got attacked is already crying and or on the floor in pain, about to cry. So I throw away the stuff and I turn back around and I see that the girl that got attacked was not crying at all. She was just back on her scooter, just like, you know, you look kind of silly on a scooter. And the girl that was saying, "Why don't you go cry to mom?" was crying. She was the oldest one and she was crying. Anyways, so as I was trying to think about what I should talk about, this shit just fell into my lap. And I felt very awkward, not going to lie. I was just trying to take out the trash and I pulled up on some Worldstar stuff. White Worldstar, though. White Worldstar should be a thing. I would love to see White Worldstar. I can't recall. Oh, no, yeah, there's been plenty of fights on Worldstar with white people in it. But White Worldstar would be great, man. Yeah, I don't know. I need to be quicker on the fly with like my thinking, you know. I think very slowly. I like doing this. This is really fun for me. And I enjoy talking and thinking that people are going to hear what I'm saying, because it's the closest I'll get to stand up without actually doing stand up. I miss stand up. And it's gone right now. And it kind of hurts. But I've been trying to keep myself busy with doing other things. Last night, I watched a meltdown video about FouseyTube. And it was a 3-part documentary totaling an hour and a half, which really is just one documentary separated into 3 parts so you can monetize it more on YouTube. But I was there for all of it. And then I started watching Fousey box. You know, I don't know why, but I'm like drawn to people melting down right now. And I feel, in a sense, this is my meltdown that's kind of happening in private, yet I still want to kind of put it out there, but I'm not sure about that yet, you know? So, and I did melt down earlier in saying, fuck those people that didn't post those clips of my podcast, but still fuck you, you know? You don't post my clips, I get mad. I do 5 hours each fucking episode on clips. Maybe that's me melting down. I'm sitting at a computer for 5 hours. What is the definition of a meltdown? Because from what I see, it's just people with shifty eyes. And it's very hard for me to keep my eyes on this camera as I talk to the camera. Because I also have a video of me here. I'm looking at myself here, but the camera is here. And it looks better aesthetically if I'm looking into the camera lens. Whew! This is a good one. Compared to the other ones that I recorded, this one's way better. But I could watch this over later and be like, whoa, did I relapse on cocaine? What you can't see is my fancy setup. This fancy setup I have here is from the Josh Gerardo podcast. I decided to put a lot of money, since stand-up's not around, into equipment for a production, which is a very relative term. I understand that, but a production's a production, baby. So this is a switcher. It helps me switch cameras, which I only have one camera because I don't need more fucking angles of my ugly face, right? And this is a Rodecaster, an interface for this beautiful mic to be plugged into so that you could hear my voice. I farted. Fuck. I don't know. It's an instinct for me to just tell people when it happened, because when, you know, my farts are always loud. Okay, I don't want fucking farts to be a topic on this though. Yeah, the whole thing with this, and I do this every time I record one of these that hasn't came out. I tell myself like what I'm trying to do this for when I don't know what else to talk about. So let's go over here. Kids fighting outside. Got that. And the other ones don't make sense. The other topics I wrote down don't make sense. One of them does though. I'll talk about that. This is my technically my 4th attempt, but 3rd podcast that actually made it out. The one that didn't make it was called AAFU, that I was doing with Josh Michaels before we did Josh Gerardo, which is a lot better. AAFU was basically an AA meeting as a podcast with silliness and quirks. And we wanted to do a sketch every episode. Now, doing a sketch every podcast is quite a task. And I think we did 2. And then on the 3rd day, we did not rise again. On the 3rd podcast, we decided to quit. And we didn't decide, though, too. We kind of just didn't talk to each other about it. We would just, whenever we would see each other, we'd just say things like, I gotta go. And then 2 months later, we decided, it's weird how we just stopped doing that podcast that we both wanted to do, but then we both did not want to do all of a sudden. So we decided to do Josh Gerardo, Mike Alarcon's at the time. But before that, when I was working at Chipotle, when I was about 19 or 20 years old, I did a podcast called Jose and Pedro Cut the Steak, which is problematic now. I'll give you that. It is a problematic idea for a podcast now. It was basically a movie review podcast where the rating system was not thumbs up or thumbs down or a star system. No, don't be silly. It was, like I said, it was problematic. That's what it was. We would rate it based on the size of a chest, a human chest. A terrible movie would get the rating of a hairy man chest. And a great movie would get the rating of a woman's large, nice breasts. That we did about 7 or 8 of those, and we put them out, and people liked them. People that we knew listened to them, and it was fun. My name was Pedro, which is also problematic. You can't just nowadays you cannot just be somebody else. If you're not 100% fully yourself, and if yourself is, you have to not be racist. You have to be yourself, but not racist. So if you're racist, and if you're yourself, then you're canceled. But you have to be yourself, and you can't be Pedro, even though Pedro is a 2-syllable name that is 5 letters long, and is way better than Gerardo. Sorry, I got mad there for a second. And my friend Ahmad Salama, great guy, love that guy, was the other host, and he was Jose. Now, even more problematic because it was Ahmad was not Mexican. He was, I believe, Pakistani. Fuck. If he's not, then I'm sorry, Ahmad. I can't put this one out now. I think he was either Pakistani or Palestinian. One of those two. I get those things mixed up. I should text him, actually. I'll figure it out. But his name was Ahmad, but I called him Ahmad Majimedad because that rolls off the tongue. If you want to do yourself a favor, try to say Ahmad Majimedad, and it feels really good. Not that you're doing some sort of language. It just feels, it's like the whole, like, the lettering is so good. And in my phone, his name is Ahmad Majimedad. Anyways. It just seemed to me that Ahmad was short for something. And I asked him one day, I was like, what is Ahmad short for? Ahmad Majimedad? And I just always remembered that because it felt so good saying it. I also was not sober at the time. Anyways, Jose and Pedro Cut the Steak was my first podcast. And we basically reviewed movies, which is cutting the steak. You'd be like, hey, Jose, you want to cut the steak on Fury Road, Mad Max, Fury Road, let's do it. That was the whole podcast. And it was hilarious. It was fun. It's on YouTube. You can watch it if you want. There's no video. It's just audio. But it was a good time. I had a lot of fun. But like much of the artistic ventures that maybe you yourself will find yourself on, they all end. Yeah, everything comes to an end. There's no more Game of Thrones. Anything artistic always comes to an end, which is wild. Even Kendrick Lamar isn't making music right now. Where is Kendrick Lamar? You know what? I saw an article the other day that said, where is Kendrick Lamar when people need a strong black leader? And it pissed me off because Kendrick Lamar did not sign up for this shit. He was already talking about the things that are really coming to the forefront now before everyone else was talking about it. So it pisses me off that I think it was XXL or whatever fucking stupid ass publication, if that's even what they are, whoever published an article saying, "Where is Kendrick Lamar now?" after the George Floyd shooting or killing. He wasn't shot. Jesus Christ. This is why I'm not a writer either. I don't have a fucking magazine called Gerardo. 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 I don't know. That really bugged me though. Why would you say is that super, I think at least 2008, 2009. Like after that, you can't ask for a black leader. They're not all under the same umbrella as one leader. We're all just people, you know? And I didn't know that was a problem until I saw some fucking video on Instagram that somebody way smarter than me made. And even then it troubles me that I find these things on Instagram or something. Because you never know what's real or what's not. Okay, I have to turn that off. Jesus Christ. Everyone's talking about Cuties. I'm not going to watch Cuties, even though they try to flip it on you and act like it's... if you don't know what Cuties is, it's fucking 6 or 7 or 8 year olds twerking. Didn't even watch the trailer. Not watching the show. I just heard on a podcast people talking about it. And I've seen on up and down Facebook, Instagram, Twitter about Cuties. It's trending. People want to fucking praise it, which I don't understand, and people want to bash it, which I more so understand. Basically, it's about, I think, a French. I don't even know if it's a school or what. A French dance team of very young people that twerk, from my understanding, which is very problematic. And I don't understand how that could be happening at the same time a number of conspiracy theories are happening. I don't understand how... I mean, it is in France. We should do like... Dude, you know what's crazy about that too is that so many fucking celebrities love going to France. It's pretty weird. Now we understand why. Fuck. I need to not have my phone on me. I fucking hate looking at my phone all the time. I love listening to podcasts. I like having my phone on me. I just don't like looking at it all the time. It's annoying. Let's look at a topic. Oh, yeah. So, this is something I was kind of making myself laugh about 2 days ago. I'm not sure if it'll be funny on the podcast. I haven't, when you talk in your head, or this is more so for comedians, when you talk in your head and you think something's hilarious, but then you say it out loud and you realize, oh, either it's not funny, or you have to look at yourself, or you have to go to therapy, or for whatever reason that you only learn that reasoning when you say it out loud. And I like that I could do it in this form because nobody's here to hear me. Which I would love. I would love if I did all this and nobody listened to it, because it would be so cool I like grinding, but there's a part to grinding that makes you want to get some kind of, I don't know, conversation or a kudos. I don't know what do I want? I just like doing things. Yeah, anyways, I have to fucking edit clips too. So what I was going to talk about though, that's probably more important, is, let me take a hit. Juul. Fucking great. I popped in a fresh Juul just for this fucking podcast. So I want to talk about how to be late for work. I think I've perfected it, and I feel like I can share this with people to make them a better person. Nobody likes losing a job. Now, I should probably give you my background first. I haven't done this yet. I've never talked about this. I'm just going to go through it and see if it's wrong as I say it. But my background of working, I have probably been fired from every job. Keeping it 100. There was my first job as a paper boy where I was quitting on the same day I was getting fired. So I was going to school at the time, and it was a 7-day-a-week job, which is bananas. And I forget that. I was trying to think of. I think it's Bob. This guy Bob. I was working for a guy Bob from the Daily Bulletin. I would go in at 1 a.m, make the papers. Put the rubber band on them, and sit there for about 400 papers, making them all. Throw them in my truck, get in my truck, and toss them around Ontario. A very ghetto part of Ontario, which I ended up dating a girl from there later, which brought back memories, but also wanted me to end that relationship also. I said also twice or 3 times. Okay. I was getting complaints. I broke the rain gutter of a house from throwing a paper at it very hard because I was trying to hit the door. And how ghetto houses work is the door has a ledging above that. So the door is here and the ledging is like that. And then the rain gutter is right here. They need to put a lot of stuff in one space basically. And I was lazy. Okay. You got it. You got it out of me. I was a lazy piece of crap. It sounds so stupid saying crap. I just tossed it like that up over my car instead of throwing it out the other window. Like, oh, fuck. I tossed it over my car, hit the rain gutter, hits the car that's in the driveway. Yeah, because there's also a driveway there. There's the door, the ledge, the rain gutter, and a car, and it hit the car. And I left. I didn't even fix the evidence or like try to fix the crime scene. Like I could have got out of the car, put the paper next to the door so that it looks like it was just a ghetto house falling again or falling apart again. Instead, I left and I didn't do anything about it. So anyways, stuff like that would happen every day. I got pulled over by a cop once on my paper job, and the cop pulled me over just to say Happy Labor Day. But I was also smoking weed, but he didn't come to my car. He just pulled me over and he got on his speaker and he said, Happy Labor Day. And then he dipped out. And at first I was super scared because I was high and I could have gone to jail or something for that. But then he said Happy Labor Day and drove off, and it made me so mad. So anyways, I went into work one day. I was going to start the next semester of school the next day. So I went into my boss's office and I said, hey, I wanted to talk to you. He's like, yeah, I gotta talk to you. And he had papers in his hand. He was already pretty flustered, like, because I had so many complaints. And he was like, yeah, you can't work here anymore. Because he had already talked to me about the complaints. And then I was like, dude, I was literally coming here to quit. And this is my first job. I was an idiot. Like, I didn't know that I can get fired and then get unemployment, and just coast and go to school and not have to work, My dad told me that later. That I was an idiot for not doing that. Just because I had school and it sucks to work and go to school. Anyways, that's fucking idiot, dude. I'm going to get to how to be late for work soon. Let me just keep going here. And then I had a job at Costco. My dad worked in Frito-Lay, and he was some kind of key account manager at Frito-Lay. So I think this is what happened. I had applied to Costco. He knew somebody that worked there, meaning a manager, a general manager, I'm assuming. And I feel as if he put my name on somebody's desk because I got that job when I should not have got that job. I worked there for 2 years, and I worked as maintenance for a year, which was me scrubbing toilets. Yeah. And toilets at Costco are terrible. I'll tell you what, and it was terrible too because I wish I would have just came in when Costco closed and scrubbed the toilets and took out the trash and handled business. That would have been great, But I had to work an 8-hour shift every day, which I don't know if you know what that entails as far as doing bathroom checks at a Costco and having to take out all the trashes. The trashes was the fun part because the bathroom was terrible. Now you have to sit and wait for people to leave the bathroom in order to clean it. There was multiple ways of doing it. You can go stall by stall while the Costco was open. When it was open, you can go stall by stall and clean the bathrooms, or clean the toilets. Or you can section off the whole fucking bathroom and clean it that way. I just sat and stared at the people that came out of the bathrooms. And I was like, this is fucking gross. The people that went to Costco at that time, this was probably 2009, 2010, the grossest fucking people you've ever seen. Just a lot of flab, just a lot of just stuff hanging out. A lot of cracks, a lot of people that don't want to show their crack, but they can't help it. And I just had a flashback, my bad. Just gross. And also another thing, and I don't really want to censor myself on this, okay? But it was a known fact that the women's restroom at Costco is fucking gross. Women never took care of that restroom. The men, perfect, man. I never had to clean the men's restroom. They would even fucking clean the windows for me. The windows, the mirrors. Yeah, the women's restroom was bad. And it's not a period thing or anything, dude. Give me a period. I'll fucking take it, you know? It was there would be colors on the sink, you know, and there would be toilet paper where the toilet paper was not meant to go. Everywhere. There would be toilet paper everywhere. I don't know why I tried to say it like a funny way. And then, yeah, there was the period thing, dude. Like, there would be some gnarly people. Oh, yeah, there was some crazy stuff, dude, you know? And I'm not hating on it. Like I said, I'll take one. Meaning, I'll have a fucking cycle. Just give me one, though. I just want to see what it feels like. That would be a great invention. Elon Musk needs to stop doing Neuralink and needs to give men one period. Am I wrong? Imagine that if Elon Musk just came out and was like, I'm stopping Neuralink. Is that like South African stock? I'm stopping the Neuralink, and I think it's important. No, that's British. I think it's important that men have one menstrual cycle. Whenever Elon Musk says something that he is like, that's completely correct. Or, you know, because he's a genius. But when he says something like, he tells Joe Rogan, like, what if we live in a simulation? He does this thing where he's just like, he chooses when to make eye contact with somebody. It's fucking stupid, dude. I hope I'm being funny, dude. It's hard to tell if you're being funny or not when you're just talking to yourself. But yeah, Elon Musk, please work on giving men one menstrual cycle so that we can know what it feels like, and we can have some slack for the women out there that have, you know, that thing. That thing once a month for 3 days. But with one girl, she told me that she was on a period for 3 weeks. That sucks. Yeah, and give men a normal period so we can know what a normal one feels like. And if dudes want to go on like some journey, they could pay for the fucking upgrade. Yeah, this one girl would tell me that she was on a period for like 3 weeks. But I feel like it was because she didn't want to have sex with me. She would always talk about sex though. So it made me feel like she really was on a period for 3 weeks. Anyways. I talked about women's periods for 5 minutes? Yikes. Anyways, so we were talking about my jobs at Costco. The fucking women's restroom was gross at Costco. Yeah, you just saw all the creatures. That's why I wish I could have just came in and closed the joint instead of having to work during the business hours. Because you had to see the people that were using the restrooms. You feel like when you're cleaning the toilet, you're inside of the people you saw earlier. You're like, you know. And I didn't wear gloves because I'm a savage, dude. I'm just kidding. I thought that would just be funny to say, but I realized it made me look gross. I had to wear gloves. Obviously, why would I say I didn't wear gloves if I didn't know gloves were involved? If I was a savage, I wouldn't even brought up the gloves, dude. Yeah. I'm waiting for the day where somebody that lives in this apartment comes downstairs and sees me doing this podcast. Nope, they're just going to the restroom. But then when they go to the restroom, you can hear it in the mic because the mic's so good. Yeah. I love this thing. I love this mic, man. Is it worth it? Yes. 100% worth it. Fucking buy this fucking mic. I would have spent $100 more on it just because of how it makes my fucking voice sound. That's an exaggeration. Anyways, so yeah, Costco, I got fired. I worked a year at maintenance, and then the second year I worked there, I worked in the meat department. Now when I worked in the meat department, it was great. Loved it. My boss was awesome. We would smoke weed a lot. We would go on extra breaks and smoke weed. And we would get pizzas for days, smoke weed, eat the pizzas, and we should have been working in the meat department the whole time. Anyways, the reason why I got fired while working in the meat department was because I forged a signature on a fat test. Now, a fat test is where you take the ground beef and you take a little sample of the ground beef and you put it in the fat tester and you fucking fat test the fucking ground beef and you get the fat percentage. The percentage of fat has to be 13 to 15% or whatever. Who knows? And then if it doesn't come out to the right fucking fattage, you have to put more fat, or you have to put more lean meat into the fucking grinder, and then you have to grind it all up, and you got to take that piece and you got to go to the fat tester and test it. And we never did that. All we did was just fucking make that shit, homie. Mickey Mouse, dog. We would put expired meat into the meat grinder. So for all of you that like Costco, we would take the meat that expired on the line and throw it into the ground beef. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. But I get fired for fucking forging a signature when we forged every signature. But see, where I fucked up, there was a really cool boss that worked at Costco named Zaza. I made a song about him and everything. Zaza the Boss Man was the song. And Zaza had a very unique signature. Now, a very unique signature meaning it looked like it was really easy to duplicate, right? Now, but by doing that, that is inferring the fact that Zaza would be in the store. He does not work nights. He worked mornings. And I just thought it'd be hilarious. I think I was high to just put Zaza's name. 2 days later, Gerald, I fucking hated that guy because he had no balls to have my fucking name. That's why. I was Gerardo. He was Gerald with an L. You know how much I fucking hate people that have the beginning of my name and then there's an L somewhere in the later on. Even the Geraldine. Suck my fucking. Oh, don't. Okay, that's not me telling a woman to suck my cock. But eat my fucking asshole, Geraldine. Anyways, yeah, so he saw that, and I've always found, even to this day, I always find that honesty is the best fucking key. Like, it's the key to success. Just be honest. I mean, obviously, forging a signature is not being honest, but still, just be honest. So Gerald, his bitch ass, asked me about the forged signature. He said, "Did you sign that? Chicken scratch?" He said. That shows his age. I didn't know what chicken scratch was until he was inferring about the signature. Because he said, "Did you sign that chicken scratch?" And I didn't see a fucking chicken with long nails. And I said, "Yes, I did. I fucking signed that shit, dude. That's my fault. I did that." Yeah. And he was like, "This is a big deal. This is a major deal. This is crazy. This is me." And I was just like, "Bro, chill, dude. I got to go back to work." He's like, "No, you are suspended." And so I got suspended for 3 days, went to Vegas while I was suspended, did a lot of stuff in Vegas, and then came back and got fired. Now, I just kind of went on a tangent there talking about work, which I wasn't prepared to do. So brought up a lot of emotions. I also worked at Chipotle where I became a kitchen manager, and then I got fired for not washing avocados, which means they just wanted me fucking fired. Which, speaking of Chipotle, great place. I'm probably going to go there after this. because I deserve it. If I do an hour, dude, I'm at 40 minutes right now. I'm fucking killing it. Eat my fucking ass. None of my other fucking tries have been this good. I feel really good about this one. Only because I feel like I sound how I talk when I'm talking to like people at work, or not at work, maybe more like, I don't know. I'm getting closer to my voice, and that's the whole point of this thing, dude. I'm willing to negotiate a better voice. Anyway, so how to be late for work. I'm going to put you guys on some game right now. So what you have to do is you have to just basically, first of all, don't be late for work. Show up on time. Be crazy. But you have to misdirect a lot. And you have to be very smart about your misdirections, though. You have to be, and you can never do this 2 days. If you're doing this 2 days in a row, you're a fucking idiot. All right. And traffic is not a good misdirection. Traffic is so easy to combat. Your boss can just say, well, that's why you leave earlier, so you beat traffic. You live in California. You're a fucking moron. You think traffic's going to get you out of this? This is how you show up late to work. You go to your boss and you say, dude, I can't believe I was fucking late. You start with that kind of energy. Because think about it. If you left, so let's say you had to be at work at 8. You have to go into the conversation you have with your boss that you left your fucking place by 6:30 and it takes you 10 minutes to get to work. You have to have that fucking confidence. But all these things happen to where you're fucking there at 8:15, dude. How the fuck did that happen? What? What? That what I was emulating there without the laughs? Like, you have to come at him with that. Like, because he's going to be mad. If you do this a lot, he's going to be mad. And really, this only works if you're never late. If you're perfect and you want to be fucking late once, then this will work. Nah, even then, I'm late a lot. And I get away with the misdirections. Like, one of my favorites is to be late, but also be on my way to work. Like, because it takes me about 15 minutes to get to work. And that is me walking out of the door to my car to work 15 minutes. And it's basically every time. Because there's rarely traffic on my way to work. Now, if I leave my place at 7:50 and I have to be at work at 8 o'clock, I do not like being late. So I want people to think that I was meant to be there at 8, right? So I'll call my boss at 7:50 when I'm in my fucking car and be like, hey, I'm about to stop at the gas station. Do you want anything? And he usually says no. Sometimes he'll ask for donuts. So I'm like, fuck, I'm out. But I'd rather pay the fucking donuts than be late for work. And the next thing you know, I show up to work at like 8:20 because I have to go to the fucking gas station now. But I'll try to bring a drink from my house, acting as if I went to the gas station to get it. Now, that's where you're not going to find one of these at the gas station. By the way, LaCroix, great flavor. Pastique. They should just call it watermelon because it's a watermelon. They do have watermelon on there, but they have a pretentious name, Pastique. It's so dangerous either hitting my Juul or taking a drink of my LaCroix because nobody's talking when I do that. So anyways, I'll tell him like, hey, do you want anything from the gas station? Usually he says no. If he says yes, you're kind of screwed. But then now, especially in quarantine, hey, coronavirus, now you have a reason to be late. Everyone's social distance. I didn't even know where the line was. Like the fucking line was everywhere, fool. And where I thought, like, and then next thing you know, I'm just standing in the hot dog aisle for like 3 minutes, dude. And that if you would have been to my work, the gas station next to my work, you would get that reference because there's a fucking hot dog aisle. Clean up on hot dog aisle. Why would I say that? Yeah. So just misdirections. I give up. I don't know where else to go with this, dude. I think it's funny. Who knows if it's funny or not? Maybe you learned something. Maybe you didn't know that you can call your boss and tell him you're going to the gas station to be late. Fucking idiot, dude. This will get better eventually. And then lastly, I guess I want to do an hour. I'm at 45 minutes. I hope this takes 15 minutes. I want to talk about I guess not how I became a comedian. That's not what it is. I didn't even write that down. You could look if you want. What it says here is my history with music. I am a person that plays guitar and drums and bass and piano. I don't play it well. I do play it though. I make beats. I make like trap beats fucking randomly. Like 2 days ago, I made a beat that kind of sucks, but I still listen. I can't stop listening to it. It sucks because it's just repetitive and it's boring and it's a sample. So it's just like 50 seconds long, but I restart it like, so I wanted to talk about my history with music. I used to think that I was going to be a musician. I used to think that I was going to fucking be the next big thing, which is hard to talk about because you see people just brushing that under, the rug every time they talk about it, where it's like they just accept the fact that they aren't a musician. And I never was able to accept that fact. To this day, I feel like a fucking failure because I never became a musician. I always told my buddies around me that I was not going to fucking regret starting this because I'm going to fucking finish it, And for some reason, man, it fucking eggs me, man. And I get so upset. Like one thing that triggered me hard, and I didn't see this coming either, was Parks and Rec, right? The show. People would always ask me, have you seen Parks and Rec? You remind me so much of the musician guy. I watched an episode with a girl I was dating at the time. Of around the time Parks and Rec had came out or whatever. And I was watching an episode of Parks and Rec, and Chris Pratt's character was the dude with a guitar every time you seen him. And it bothered me. It fucking bothered me. I understand what triggered is because I was triggered in that moment. Because it brought back so many memories of me saying, I'm not going to regret this. This is my fucking life. I either become a musician or die trying. Like some 50 Cent shit, but he was about money. And and it's funny because I did not make 50 Cent music at the time. I made psychedelic rock at the time. I was a part of a couple bands called Bobby Conundrum, Star Spangled Gypsies, and a pop band called Feel Good Fire. Now, Feel Good Fire, let me tell you, was a terrible band. If anyone from that band is watching this that is not Juan de la Cruz, yeah, that was a bad band. I probably acted as if it was fun and it was good and stuff. I feel really bad if I'm really breaking the news to you this way. I do feel terrible, but it was bad. Juan and I make fun of it every time we see each other. We watch the videos and laugh hard. It was a good time. I'm not going to take that away from anyone. Basically, the lead singer's dad was killing it, dude. The lead singer was a girl named Brianna Besserell. Great voice. And her dad owned like a tire company or something. And he was selling tires. And let me tell you, dude, he was selling a lot of tires, dude. Because he bought us a studio. I don't know how much rent was at the time, dude, but I look at places now to have a studio, like a fucking warehouse, a big ass warehouse. Bro, I want to look that up right now. How much does that cost? Because, wow, it was huge. And we decked it. Dude, he bought a bunch of wood for us. And Juan and I were the only Mexicans. So we did a lot of this is a joke. But he welded metal for us. He welded a whole fucking stage. Made it with wood and everything. Like, it was like the stage at the Whiskey A Go-Go. But it had levels. The Whiskey A Go-Go doesn't have levels. It was so cool. Too big, though. I'll say that. The stage was too big because I like being closer to my fucking bandmates. Like, if this was the guitarist, I just want to be like this, playing guitar with him. You know what I mean? And yeah, that whole time was crazy. What's up, dude? Anyways, I can't wait to go to Chipotle after this. To give you some context, I live under the stairs here, which I fucking love it. I've never loved living anywhere more than I love living here. I've never felt more like I have no I have no privacy, but it's awesome. Especially after watching like an Edward Snowden, Joe Rogan episode. Who does have privacy, dude? I feel like I have my pulse on the overall state of the nation. We have no privacy just by living under the stairs. People come down, they see me in God knows what. I don't even know how I sleep. I like to sleep with a blanket, but sometimes I wake up, blankets off. Now that's what I call a loss of privacy. Oh. So anyways, yeah, so I was in Feel Good Fire and it was a terrible band. It ended tragically. Not, how do you say, like, what's the halfway point between not tragic and tragic? It ended not mediocre, but what's the halfway point between mediocre and tragic? Somewhere in between there. Because it wasn't an easy ending. We played a 4th of July show in 120 degree weather because of global warming, which is a sham. I'm just kidding. I don't believe that. I just think it is getting hotter in September than it was in July. I think we played a show. It was burning hot outside on a 4th of July of 2013. And in the middle of our set, it was after the first song, the lead singer freaked out on us and told us to play that fucking shit right. And she never cussed, especially on stage, right? What we didn't know was that she was having a epileptic episode, which, holy shit, dude, she broke it down. Right after she said, play the fucking shit right, I was kind of like, watch it, you know what I mean? Like, don't fucking talk to me like that, dude. And then she started she was mad. I'm like, I'm fucking mad, dude. You know, you don't fucking talk to me that way. And then she kept shaking. She hit her head on the piano. That's when I knew it was serious. And it's not funny. And you know, her boyfriend, and also though, tell your bandmates that you're epileptic, because her boyfriend threw his wallet in her mouth and she was biting on it. Obviously, that's what you do. I don't know if you know that, but whenever somebody's having a seizure, you want to put something in between their teeth. I don't know. Oh, so they don't bite their tongue or they don't choke on their tongue, something like that, right? Anyways, she was breaking it down. He threw his wallet in her mouth, which made me go like, oh, you knew this was going to happen, dude? Why didn't we know? Like, we could have moved quicker as a team. You know what I mean? Right when that was happening, though, we walked off the stage. We being the other bandmates. And somebody came up to us and said, hey, you guys want tacos? It's like, no, dude. I don't want a fucking taco right now. Like, my friend she's hurt, dude. Like, I did end up eating the tacos, but my other friend Juan just left. Yeah, and so what's the moral of the story? Yeah, so that was Feel Good Fire. Feel Good Fire. And you know, crazy thing is, they got back together with a different band. They got back together with 3 other fools and the boyfriend and girlfriend, which kind of hurt our feelings. I think that's why me and Juan always watch the videos after, because we need to make it right in our heads. We watch it to be like, yeah, they fucked up, dude. They could have had us. They fucked up. Fool. They fucked up. But really though, I'm sober now, but me and Juan used to be drinking buddies, and we would watch the videos every time. Every time we get drunk, we'd stay up late fucking singing and shit, singing the songs. You left me with the mark of a rebel. Yeah. I wrote a piano piece once, and I was like, hey, you could have this song as long as you call it Heartbreaker, because my heart was fucking broken. And so she was like, okay. She was like in the zone. I don't know how writers get when they're in the zone. They're just like, all right, I fucking get it. Heartbreaker, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. That's a good song. Really, I thought that every good band had a song called Heartbreaker. Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. I don't know if the Beatles had one. The Beatles aren't a good band if they didn't have a song called Heartbreaker. Bunch of bands have a song called Heartbreaker. I think one of Eric Clapton's bands had one. I know Muddy Waters had one. Or Breaking My Heart, some shit like that. Some sad ass shit like that. Come on, Muddy Waters. Dude, if he didn't die already, I would have fucking grabbed that fool by the collar and been like, stop making sad fucking music, dude. Anyways, I told her that, only thinking that. And then she went and made the whole song just Heartbreaker, Heartbreaker, Heartbreaker. I was like, no, fool, make a fucking, you could just call it that and never say Heartbreaker. Just make it the title of that. Because I'm always thinking about the finished product, which is a problem of mine. I was always thinking like, yeah, the fucking name of the song that I made, like the piano piece for, will be fucking Heartbreaker, fool, no matter what. Like, you can talk about sandwiches or whatever you want, but the fucking song that I made it's fucking Heartbreaker. Like, that's what it's gonna be. Man, yeah, dude, I don't know. So just to keep the record straight, I did do an hour. I don't know why that's red. I don't know if that's good. I hope this recorded. I kind of liked what I did. If you hate what I did and never want me to do it again, please tell me that. Please comment and tell me to never do this again. I would greatly appreciate that. If this comes out, I'm just practicing here. I believe that if you're a comedian, you should try this. Try not to do it to a camera. This is very nerve-wracking. But you should try to talk to yourself. Because in my opinion, that's what getting on stage is all about. You go on stage and you talk to yourself. And people are there to watch. And that's coming from somebody that's only been doing comedy for 5.5 years. Almost 6. So I don't know jack shit, but I do know it's good to practice. Like, I don't know about writing stuff. You know, I write a little bit here and there. But I feel like this, I don't know, what is the secret sauce? Somebody called Joe Rogan, because he's the funniest stand-up comedian of all time. Huh, yeah. No, he's not. But thank you if anyone watched this or had a chance to and they made it this far. Thank you so much. This is Willing to Negotiate. My name is Gerardo Alarcon. I may have cut some of this out because my roommates walked in, so that's why it's not an hour long, but I did do an hour. This is an exercise, and I thank you for joining me.